Okay, welcome back everybody. Corey Anderson here with the 7. Right now it is 12:56 a.m. in the morning. It is Monday, November 22nd, and this is the week to start week 10 of the Master Key System. And a quick recap on part 9. We went over visualization, how visualization is the mechanism and how we're going to use to create the mental pictures that we want, which is going to help us to manifest the things that we desire. Now, a lot of interesting things have happened this last week, and God blessed me with 2 cubs, 2 kittens, and they're playing around over here, and it's definitely a lot more responsibility, and they're a total blessing as much as sometimes it could be as pain in the butt. It gives me more things to be responsible for, and as we're growing into responsibility and more things to handle, it's totally a blessing in disguise. Why? Because all things work together for our good. We are never given things that we cannot handle, and we are never given things that will not help us to succeed and to move forward and to be more of what we are created to be. And a big part of what we got from part 9 was the law of growth, that everything is in growth and everything is growing. And then you and me, we have to focus mainly on developing the mental attitude which will enable us to manifest and be that person that we so desire to be. And we just need to focus on growing into that person, and visualization is going to be the key to helping us grow into that individual. Because why? Remember, self-image, the power of seeing yourself as the individual capable of achieving that thing, of making that desire a reality, that vision that you have a reality. Because there's a reason you have the vision. There's a reason it came to you and it was given to you. It was given to you, and the desire you have for it is because you have the ability to make it happen. And regardless of anything, you do what you can with what you have, with where you are now. Because you cannot work from a place where you are not. You have to work and do the things you need to do from where you are now. So, the main focus, another thing, since what are we told? That we cannot rush to embody an idea. We cannot rush to embody something and then spend our time in correcting defects. Okay, we have to take our time in becoming that individual, and again, by following along the lines of growth and doing what we need to do diligently every day, consistently every day, to achieve that ideal. And that happens by what? Growing and becoming the person necessary, because we get what we are out of life. We don't always get what we want, we always get what we are. So what does that mean? That means we have to become the person and be the person necessary to get the things in life that we want. So, that being said, we went over visualization last week. We did the practices, which was planting the seed and seeing the seed grow into an actual flower and being able to smell the flower as if it was actually there. Why did we do this? So we could exercise the imagination and develop our mind to be able to see the vision so clearly. Why? Because we are led by vision. We have to have the vision of the thing that we want, of the places that we are going. We have to have the goal, the ideal, and a strong imagination and the ability to visualize is going to be what's necessary for us to enter into that state and create that ideal, manifest it in material form. So let's get started with part 10. Introduction. If you get a thorough understanding or the thought contained in Part 10, you will have learned that nothing happens without a definite cause. You will be enabled to formulate your plans in accordance with exact knowledge. You will know how to control any situation by bringing adequate causes into play. When you win, as you will know exactly why, because of cause and effect, since everything is governed by law in higher forces. The ordinary man, who has no definite knowledge of cause and effect, is governed by his feelings or emotions. He thinks chiefly to justify his action. If he fails as a businessman, he says that luck is against him. If he dislikes music, he says that music is an expensive luxury. If he is a poor office man, he says that he could succeed better at some outdoor work. If he lacks friends, he says his individuality is too fine to be appreciated. 1 second. I'm also considerate about you, viewer, because they don't need to be making that much noise. But then they go and do other things to make noise anyway. And that's exactly what it's like to have kids, isn't it? Once we have them one day. So, back to where we were. He never thinks his problem through to the end. In short, he does not know that every effect is the result of a certain definite cause, but he seeks to console himself with explanations and excuses. He thinks only in self-defense. On the contrary, the man who understands that there is no effect without an adequate cause thinks impersonally. He gets down to bedrock facts, regardless of consequences. He is free to follow the trail of truth wherever it may lead. He sees the issue clear to the end, and he meets the requirements fully and fairly. And the result is that the world gives him all that it has to give, in friendship, honor, love, and approval. Now, the full part. Abundance is a natural law of the universe. The evidence of this law is conclusive. We see it on every hand. Everywhere, nature is lavish, wasteful, extravagant. Nowhere is economy observed in any created thing. Profusion is manifested in everything. Abundance is manifested in everything. The millions and millions of trees and flowers and plants and animals in the vast scheme of reproduction, where the process of creating and recreating is forever going on, all indicates the lavishness with which nature has made provision for man. That there is an abundance for everyone is evident, but that many fail to participate in this abundance is also evident. They have not yet come into a realization of the universality of all substance, and that mind is the active principle whereby we are related to the things we desire. Now, all wealth is the offspring of power. Possessions are of value only as they confer power. Events are significant only as they affect power, and all things represent certain forms and degrees of power. Knowledge of cause and effect, as shown by the laws governing electricity, chemical affinity, and gravitation, enables man to plan courageously and execute fearlessly. These laws are called natural laws because they govern in the physical world. But all power is not physical power. There is also mental power, and there is moral and spiritual power. Now, spiritual power is superior because it exists on a higher plane. It has enabled man to discover the law by which these wonderful forces of nature could be harnessed and made to do the work of hundreds and thousands of men. It has enabled man to discover laws whereby time and space have been annihilated, and the law of gravitation to be overcome. The operation of this law is dependent upon spiritual contact. As Henry Drummond well says, quote, "In the physical world as we know it, there exists the organic and the inorganic. The inorganic of the mineral world is absolutely cut off from the plant or animal world. The passage is hermetically sealed. These barriers have never yet been crossed. No change of substance, no modification of environment, no chemistry, no electricity, no form of energy, no evolution of any kind can ever endow a single atom of the mineral world with the attribute of life. Only by the bending down into this dead world of some living form can these dead atoms be gifted with the properties of vitality. Without this contact with life, they remain fixed in the inorganic sphere forever. Now, Huxley says that the doctrine of biogenesis, or life only from life, is victorious all along the line. And Tyndall is compelled to say, I affirm that no shred of trustworthy evidence exists to provide that life in our day has ever appeared independent from antecedent life. Physical laws may explain the inorganic. Biology explains and accounts for the development of the organic. But of the point of contact, the science is silent. A similar passage exists between the natural world and the spiritual world. This passage is hermetically sealed. On the natural side, the door is closed. No man can open it, nor organic change. No organic change, no mental energy, no moral effort, no progress of any kind can enable any human being to enter the spiritual world. End quote. Okay, I'm going to stop this really quick and record again since it froze.